Good morning and welcome to Bricolage with Pink Girly. I'm Pink Girly. This is Lori. And today I thought I would work in my glue book. I said freestyle, but that's really all I know to do. I haven't had much time to prepare. I really do like to prepare for my streams and put some thought and a plan in place, but it's just not been that way for me this week. So, good morning to Dawn and Kathy and Brenda. It's nice to see you, Brenda. So, this is a glue book I started a couple of weeks ago, and it's just something I picked up at a thrift shop. And I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, so I started to do some runoffs, from using my oh look at that, using my jelly plate. But then I changed my mind, and I like the way it feels. It's all, bendy and squishy. Good morning, Mitzi. How are you? So I just have it open. We did the elephants last time. I was just flipping through to try to remind myself what's here. But I've got some fodder that I pulled out before. I just went through a couple of other books and pulled out some stuff. So we'll just see how it goes. I am really in need of some art time. I gotta tell you, I am ready. So I've just got my glue sticks here. I have my Yest paste handy. So I'm just kind of going through to see what I have available. Good morning, Melody. So how is everyone? These pages here are from a flow book I bought quite some time ago. I thought this might be fun. This is a flip out in the flow book. I don't think I'll use the stuff they have to glue down because it's so little. Let me show you the book I got this out of. Gosh, I've had this a couple of years. This is a hardcover. I think they might have magazine styles, where they're soft backed. It's got all different kinds of stuff in it. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just not my cup of tea, actually. I'm just not into all this, deep stuff. We write yourself letters and stuff like that. My dream, I don't know. I'd rather be coloring than be writing out some jazz. It's just not me. It's good for a lot of people, and there may come a day where it is good for me, but currently, I don't do that kind of journaling. It's mostly art stuff. I like art stuff. I see I've got the stripy look again. I don't know. I didn't, you know what? Let me put on my overhead light. Maybe that's the difference. Get some light. Just when I think I have my lighting figured out. I don't know, girls. We'll see if that helps. So my husband planted hollyhocks, and he picked out hollyhocks that are like a double bloom. Oh, that didn't help any, did it? Gosh, you should see them. They're really pretty. I'm going to have to do a video once a few more things start to bloom of his gardens. You might enjoy seeing those. He did a really good job. Let's see. Heather Doodlebug. Hi, how are you? All right, so these are from that flow. And this is some stuff that I've taken out of a magazine or some stuff I had last time. So I'm just going to start gluing stuff down. And then I have another, Roseanne, good morning. Welcome in, everyone. So I'm just going to start gluing stuff down. And I'm assuming it's just like if you're doing like a napkin journal, you want to skip around. So I'm going to do some skipping. This is what I finished up last time, and I was trying, and you know what, I just have not had time to practice the flowers that Dee Dee Willingham was trying to teach me how to paint with a fan brush. Ugh. But so this is how my little ATC cards turned out. And I think I painted Malia, good morning. I think I painted over everything I did because I just wasn't happy with the way it looked. And I did paint the backs, so I just have to sign them. See, and then I think I want this one to go this way. And then I can put them in my little storage tub, and then when I need a little something to send in Happy Mail, I got something. I got something. So that turned out okay. So that's good. So I'm a little ahead of the game. That's always a good feeling. All right, let's see. So tell me what's going on. What's going on? What's happening? I think I need a little sheet of something. I'm going to use glue stick, I think, to start out. Let's see how far this gets me. I've got plenty. I was thinking if I had to, I think I have some National Geographics buried somewhere. Oh, thank you, Roseanne. So my mom has been here a couple of days, and my husband is taking her home as we speak. I was going to take her home a little later, but he decided he could do that for me. So that is a blessing for me. Mom's been struggling a little. Kimberly. I'm just thinking, maybe I need something. I probably shouldn't cover up those words because I'm always looking for words. I guess we can come back. Look how pretty she is. Dawn said the only thing that is going on with me is coloring. I'm trying to do some drawing, but until I get the use of my other hand, Dawn had carpal tunnel surgery on Monday. She said it went well, so we're pleased to hear that. Let's put this little gal down. I have been coloring in a baby fairy. Well, it doesn't say baby fairy. I think he calls it an adult fairy coloring book. And I did record a flip through, and I contacted the company because I don't know, I was just a little nervous with the way that they worded the inside. You know how other people do flip throughs of different books on YouTube? But the way this one was worded really made me nervous to do that. So I contacted them, and they were supposed to call me, but of course they have not. So I've got to get back on that. Look at this. Look at this picture. It's a little bizarre. So I thought about coloring and doing a live with me coloring because I enjoyed that so much. But I've just wanted to color these little fairy babies. Oh my gosh, they look like real they're like real faces. They're not cartoony kidsy stuff. But I'm afraid to do that too. So I've got to call. I'm going to call the company next time. I did one of those, where you can go on and you can chat with somebody. And Kathy said Em and her are having a pajama day since it's rainy. Oh, that sounds fun. I'm sure there may be some baking and crafting included in your day. Let's see, hit the road. Oh, that might be good with the car. Here we go. I've got a couple of cars. Let's put some cars. My husband said he found a recipe for he likes apple fritters, so he found a recipe for some bread or something that's like apple fritters. I'm like, what are you waiting for, dude? Let's get that baked up. But he's going back over to take my mom home. He'll be in the area where we lived for quite a few years. So I think he's got some visiting he wants to do. And other than that, I was asked to do something, and I don't think she watches my channel, but just in case she does, I'm not going to say anything in particular. I'm just going to say I was asked to get some memories together. And in doing that, pulled out a lot of pictures of when my kids were young. And I don't know, maybe some of you have these too. I wasn't really concerned back then about acid-free stuff. And you could go to Michael's or AC Moore and buy those binders that just didn't have the pockets. It had kind of the sticky stuff on the pages. So you just stuck your picture down. And then it had a clear, I don't know how to get rid of that striping. I wonder if I put something for the paper something for the camera to focus on. Does that make it better? No, that looks worse. Anywho, I don't know what to try to get rid of the striping. So I want to work in this book. The white doesn't help. Oh, I'm going to put this in. Let's unfold this. I'm going to get rid of this. As I whack the camera. Now I forgot what I was saying. Oh, those pictures. So I went through the pictures, and it's got that plastic sleeve that you just folded over, and then all your pictures were tucked underneath. Well, it's all yellow and yucky, so I started taking those pictures out, and of course I have tons of duplicates. And my husband was saying, what are you doing that for? Just leave them in there. I'm like, no, they're so yucky and cruddy. So then I found little books that did have the pockets. So I put a bunch of my pictures of my kids in that. But what a chore. I've got to go through. I'm going to pull out all the dupes and then see if my kids want them and maybe just make them a little book. Roseanne says we're indoor due to smoke from Canada fires. I'm in Ohio. Smoke is causing the worst air quality. Super bad. Yeah, we had that a couple of weeks ago. And I was surprised. Oh, Kathy said she has some chocolate zucchini bread. That's good. Ooh. I know, right, Kimberly? It's terrible. It does look like blinds. I was watching the Phillies game last night. They're playing Chicago. They're playing the Cubs, Chicago Cubs. Is that it? Yeah. And oh my gosh, they would, the camera would go back and they'd show you the stadium and the folks sitting in there. Now they determined it's not bad enough for them to cancel the game there because they did cancel a game when they were in Philly a couple of weeks ago. But my goodness, you could just see all that smoke in the stadium. All right, let's see. Probably it would make sense to put this on this page. so it can fold out. Heather says she's having the same problem and she's in West Virginia. Kathy said it's here in Missouri too, but I'm sure not as bad. Yeah, stay in. We stayed in a couple of days when it was bad here. All right, so I just used some golden matte medium that I put in one of these little plastic jars. Let's dig around here and see what else I have. All these pictures of food's gonna make me hungry. Oh, she's a little dramatic, isn't she? Maybe I'll cut her out. I'll give you a break. Let's cut this little chickadee out here. Oh, she's got the little boobala showing there. I did not realize with the boobala. I'll try to keep her boobala covered here. This is an adult channel. But I apologize for the accidental boobala showing. Yeah. Malia said they're code orange here in North Carolina. I don't know what the codes mean, but I'm sure since it's killing Malia, it means that she cannot get outside. They're recommending you stay inside. It didn't, I don't know what the code was, but I know they told us to stay in a couple of weeks ago. And we didn't have that for very many days. The warning, it seemed to dissipate in a couple of days, and then that was all lifted, and we were able to, go about life normally again. And I don't watch any news anymore. It just gets my blood pressure going. So. Oh, Roseanne said you could smell. Yeah. There was definitely a funky smell here. And I didn't really feel like the mask did much of anything. We just stayed in. All right, there's a locket of her hair. Just trim that off. I was thinking it'd be nice to get some of this blue out of here, but it might be a little too difficult to do without spending a lot of time. So anybody have any projects planned? Doctor recommended. Dawn said she doesn't watch news either. Doctor recommended. I mean, my blood pressure was just already have issues. I didn't need the news to help me. And my dear friend Betty, who's 94, woo, I keep saying to her, I thought you weren't going to watch that anymore. And she keeps saying, well, I just watch it a little bit. Okay. I wonder if I have a page where the top part, maybe I will take the bottom part off and then I just don't have to be nervous about it. I'm just going to cut. See, I've said this before. This is an issue for me, cutting stuff apart. Let's see if I have. Oh, really, Dawn? I thought you were being funny. Well, you know what? I'm glad you said something to him and he recommended that. Because that's something I would never even think to mention to my doctor. So good for you. But yeah, it just really, I was wound up all the time. I had to, I had to take myself off. That kind of looks cute, I think. Of course, she's got a flat head, but maybe I'll just, oh, I like it. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, I get enough. If I'm in the car, which really isn't a whole lot anymore, but if I'm in the car by myself, that's when I catch up. And really, you only have to listen for a few minutes to catch up on most everything. So that's the way I've been doing it. And then after I get that little bit of news, or as much as I can stand, I don't know. I used to listen to in the car um, the oldies channel, 98.1, and it was just my cup of tea. It was wonderful. But you know what? They don't play stuff I like so much anymore. They play a lot of different stuff. And I have a hard time finding a music channel I want to listen to. So believe it or not, I've started listening to the sports channel, the local sports for the for the Philadelphia teams. Can you believe it? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm going to put her on an angle. I think it looks cute. Brenda says she doesn't watch the news. She sees stuff on Facebook where people tell her what's going on, the highlights. Yeah, right. That's enough. That's enough. Because quite frankly, whatever they're saying or whatever they're trying to sell you or peddling, there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing. Okay, I think I'm going to reattach that little piece. Maybe I'll trim this out. So then I was thinking, as I was quickly trying to gather some stuff together for this morning, I wonder how it would be. I mean, a glue book is just that, things you glue in a book. You take it quite literally. Oh, now I did that. I don't know how I had her, how it goes. Oh, I don't want it that way. That was silly, Lori. I'm going to put it right like that. But nothing says you have to glue down stuff that you cut out of a magazine. I mean, there for a long time, I didn't have any magazines till a gal at the co-op hooked me up with what she was getting rid of. So, I mean, if it's just a glue book, you could glue down anything, right? And I was thinking, what about die cuts and stuff like that? Of course, stickers. I went through some of my sticker books. You have severe anxiety. Oh. Yeah, the other thing too, like if you have trouble sleeping, you don't want to watch any of that jazz. It gets you all wound up and then you can't relax and fall asleep. Same with being on the computer. My husband struggled with some insomnia there for a little while. And his doctor was saying, don't be on the computer playing games or late at night either. That gets you all stimulated. So, oh, Rose, that's cool. Rose says she gets free magazines through her insurance points. I didn't know something like that existed. Hey, that's cool. And then sometimes if you're out and you go, at least here in Jersey, and I think Pennsylvania too, um, you go to a little diner or cafe. Maybe I'll put this on the opposite page over here. They have those little books that are like little advertisement books. Hey, Gail, good morning. Oh, you're not late. Good. Glad you got Elvin out for a walk. That's excellent. Okay. Oh, that's somebody's finger. Let's not cut off the finger. And, sometimes in those little books, like those little advertisement books, or sometimes you'll go in the grocery store. Now, over in Europe, they had some nice ones. Even if the pictures are just food related, you're doing a glue book, you could add them in to other stuff. And just put them down, as I like to say, willy-nilly. Hey, Dar, good morning. Hi, Ange. How you doing? Just that she had to cut it real short because they're having trouble with the air quality too. Yeah, we were just saying that, Gail. And Roseanne has her 3-month-old granddaughter today. She's napping, so she may have to go feed her soon. Aw. Roseanne, may I ask her name? You don't have to say if you don't want to. I just love to hear what people name their little babes. They're so snuggly. Let me see. When was my great niece born? She was born. When was Monica due? She was born. Now give me a minute. She just had her. Oh, she was March, April, May. Yeah, June. So she's the same age as my great niece. Brenda. Oh, there's Brenda A. Hi, Brenda. I don't think I said good morning to you. I said good morning to Brenda M. Brenda A says she goes to the library and a local thrift store to get free magazines. See, I never, before it was a thing way back in the 70s, I cut things from magazines and newspapers and glued them in. See, you were ahead of the game. Okay, she told us, oh, get out. Quinn is adorable. Quinn Marie, that is so cute. I love the Q names. I wish I'd thought of some of these names when I was having my kids. I often think I might have picked a little different. Oh, that is adorable. My niece for years, as young girls, many of us as young girls say, oh, when I get married, this is what I want to name my children, And she had picked out, if she had a boy, she would name him Julian. And when she had a girl, she would name her Gemma. Well, they had a boy first, and her husband said, no, to Julian. Julian, not Julian, Julian. And then they had a second boy, and hubby said, no, it's no Julian. And her sister is a year old, and she's Zoe Rose. Oh, nice. Adorable. So when she had her little girl in March, I think she put her foot down. He probably was okay with it, though. So they named her Gemma Giselle. I put in my plug for Gemma Grace, but she picked Gemma Giselle, which I think is going to be a little bit of a tongue twister sometimes, but she's absolutely precious. Okay, let's use some more of this golden. I keep putting my brush back in the water because I don't want it to get all, stiffen. I still can remember my mom giving me a hard time when I was oh, there's my towel. I was looking for my paper towel. I couldn't find it. Picking out names for our daughter. Of course, then we didn't know we were having a girl, but we were discussing what I might like to name a girl. And because my last name only has 3 letters in it, my mom was so funny. Really? Really? You're going to give her a 4-letter first name and she's going to have if you have a girl, you're going to have a 4-letter first name and a 4-letter last name? Oh, yeah, Gail. We had shut up all the windows. Hubs was forced to put the air conditioning on. And we stayed pretty much inside. And our little Bella, she's got a bum kicker. She can't really take a walk anymore, so it was okay. It was okay when it was pretty bad here. Yeah, T's cute, like, or would you say a Tia? That's different, Ange. Hey, Shaz, good morning. Okay. Kimberly says, how you healing, chickie? All right, oh, that's a big peacock. Okay, big peacock feather. I have more here than I thought I had. I've got some gems. Speaking of little gemma. See, I did some stamping and some wild and crazy stuff in here before I determined that I was going to turn this into a glue book. Oh, look at that crazy fish. Some of these are so big. These are little tiny. You can get these, well, I'm sure you can get them other places. They had these really little tiny calendars in the dollar store near us. That might look cute with, here, this is tissue paper. I'll cut out chairs, trees. Let's see, what does this say? Capital. More food. Let's get a different page here. I got all my papers pushed up on my screen. All right, maybe I'll glue that right like that. So this is just freestyle, willy-nilly. Not really trying to make any rhyme or reason, just really kind of gluing stuff down and seeing what I have. Malia said, I love the name Vera, Gail. Not a lot of people using that name anymore. Yeah, I had told the story a while ago about when I worked at a college. My husband and I both worked at. I ran a program at night whereby my students would call and ask for financial support from alumni and friends of the college. And one of the young gals that worked for me, her name is Lillian. And one night the phones were pretty quiet and we got talking about names and things like that. And somebody said something about my name. And of course, when somebody says something about my name, I always respond with, well, Lori's not really my name. Lori is a nickname. Well, then everybody wants to know what your real name is. So I think we did a little bit of a guessing game anyway. They didn't guess. I finally told them. And then my young caller named Lillian, because I don't use my name and I was kind of complaining about it. She's like, us girls with old-fashioned names need to stick together. You need to start using that as your name. Just use it. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I was anxious to see, because she was quite serious at the time with a fella, and they did get engaged and married and started a family. And I was anxious to see what she would name a little girl, if she would go old-fashioned. But they've had boys. I think they have 2 boys, if I'm not mistaken. And their names are very different. They're not old-fashioned. They're just, I don't really even know what their names are. I think the one's something like Caspian, or it's very different. I can't keep it in my head. Oh, so now we want to know my real name. Hmm. My real name, my first name, is, drum roll please. Who just said hello? Okay. Oh, there's Kathleen. Hi, Kathleen. My real name is, the strangest name I ever heard, it was for a boy, is Nebula. Her real name is Girly. I wish. My husband had aunts that were called Lena and Vera. Went by Big B and Little B. No one seems to know why. Huh. Lorraine is my middle name. And I'm a double R middle name. And my first name is Ethel. Like Lucy's friend, Ethel. Ethel Lorraine. I was named for a friend of my mother's. And my parents never called me Ethel or Lorraine. They had always planned to call me Lori. Oh, I see this is a shadow. I worked with a gal for many years, and her name is Lorraine. She said her brothers and sisters used to call her Lorraine the Pain, but she goes by Lorraine. So this is why I had issues with nicknames when I was naming my children. I didn't want to name them anything that had a nickname. Ethel is becoming popular down under. Get out, really? Yeah, I wanted to name my children what I was going to call them. It just gave me a little bit of an attitude, you know. Brenda said, I guess Lorraine, because that's my, get out. Cool. Yeah. My nieces, I think it was mostly my nieces growing up, when they were growing up, called me Aunt Lorley. They called me Aunt Lorley. And sometimes messing around, they'll still do it. And my sisters will call me Laura Bell. But I knew a girl who had Lori as a nickname, and her name was Dolores. So you just never know. You just never know. You love Lucy and Ethel? Yeah, me not so much. But yeah, there you have it. And my bonus son Gary, I've mentioned him several times. He for years when he lived with us, he said he was going to name his firstborn after me, and I thought, God bless you, little honey, but there's no way you're going to give a little girl a name Ethel or Lorraine. Well, he didn't, but he was true to his word. He gave her Lori. He gave her Lori as the middle name. My nickname, given by my grandpa, was Gilly, short for Gilligaloo. Gilligaloo? Not sure I'm saying it right, Gail. I know, names are just crazy. You wanted to name your son Elton? He became Jason. I did say it right? Oh, cool. Yeah, I always liked the name Arlington. I thought when I was younger I'd like to name a son Arlington, but I did not. And my husband knew, oh, look how pretty she is. My husband knew I had issues with the nickname things. And as we were trying to come up with a name, I would say things like, yeah, I really like Abigail. And he said, yeah, Abby's really cute. And I'm like, I don't want Abby. I like Abigail. If you're not going to call her Abigail, I don't want to have that as her name. And then I said, what was Amanda? I liked Amanda. Same things. Yeah, I like Mandy. So that's why we didn't end up with any of that jazz. None of that jazz. This I took out of, oh, really, Dawn? Hey, that's cute. Who's going to be Fern? Yeah, because you hear people doing the whole K thing, where all their names start with a K or a T or a J, whatever. Now, that turned out for my niece just because they picked Grayson. Hi, Devin. They picked Grayson and then Griffin, but then she always liked Gemma. I don't think that was intentional, Brenda said, Lori, in third grade, because there were 3 Brendas. Oh, wait a minute, it just popped up. Hold on, let me scoot back. I want to see you. Hey, there's Joyce. Hi, Joyce. There were 3 Brendas in my class. The girls with the last name higher up the alphabet got to be Brenda. And my last name was Y, so I was assigned Lorraine shortened to Lori. How funny. The name game, huh? No matter what in high school, you will get a nickname. My friend Lisbeth was never called that by her friends. I missed what Gail said. Okay, Dawn said my ex-brother-in-law had 3 boys. He called his set of mags and a keg. I'm not sure I get that. Anyway. Well, I think a grandfather has certain rights, and that's one thing, but I've mentioned this before too. My sister-in-law wanted to started calling our daughter Collie. We named her Colleen, and I just didn't want her to be Collie. To me, that was like a collie dog. And my son is dating a gal by the name of Felicia. So I'm thinking, see, I do the same thing. I do the same thing that I didn't want people to do for me. And I said, oh, Fee would be cute. Although I did always like Fee, or if I had, I just didn't think of it when we were naming our kids. Like Finnegan or Finley or something like that. Finn or Fee. Oh, he was a mechanic. So had the initials. Oh, I gotcha. And okay. Um, so my mother's so my mother said, so do you go by Fifi? And she said, no, I'm not a dog. My name is Felicia. So see, I do exactly what I didn't want people to do to my kids. But it's hard for my brain to wrap around and to remember to say Felicia instead of Felicia. Shaz, I think I remember you saying your name was Sharon. But I was just annoying when I was younger, and that's just I was just annoyed. I was annoyed my whole life with my name Ethel. Okay, there it is. There, I said it. My mother had her reasons, which I didn't particularly care whether she did or didn't. Um, oh well. You know what? When you talk about a glue book and you're just going to stick things down, it sounds like it's easy, but to me, this is not really easy. And he drank a lot of beer. Well, that makes sense. Hey. And when we were naming our son, I was just saying this to somebody. I forget who I was telling. It could have been on. It could have been on a live. No, I was telling my son's girlfriend Felicia. When we were picking out our son's name, I really wanted Brian Michael. Although I don't know why, because every Michael I knew at that time, they were always in trouble. But I wanted Brian Michael. I thought that sounded nice together. And we're in the hospital. I'm in labor, and my husband's saying, "Well, BMW, BMD, BM. You want his initials? If we have a boy, you want his initials to be BM." Do you know what my sister will do with that? And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So my next choice was Brian Andrew. Well, you know where that went. Bad. BAD. You want his initials to be bad? Oh my gosh. So he ended up Brian Christopher. Not thrilled, but we had to make a decision. Anywho, I've often thought if you had a ton of children, it would be fun because then you could pick so many different names. And then the whole nickname thing, and then we ended up calling our son most of his life Buddy. I don't know why. Come on, little buddy. It was like me having a major temper tantrum, that's all. My great aunt had 10 children. Whoa, I can't even imagine, when you get irritated and you wanna call the kid's name. Oh my gosh. You have to go through 10 of them? Holy moly. Holy moly. And now people that I hear about that have had, large families, and they get all, everybody starts having children and you get all those grandbabies. I'm thinking, oh baby, man, that would be so fantastic. Really, Dar? My goodness. I just can't really even imagine. I think it would be cool. I'm sure at times not so cool, but wow. I'm just doing a mishmash. I think these tomatoes are beautiful. I guess I don't have to cut everything, right? I could. For instance, my dad was, Enos. His dad was Ibra. My grandmother's Lula and Lavinia. Oh, Lavinia is pretty. Great grandma. Okay, what nationality is this? Abin Aletha. Some people called her Abby and some called her Letha. She was married to Newton, who was son of Ahaz. Gosh, they sound like all Bible names. I'm sure I butchered those. Wow. Yeah, I was thinking Jewish. She's probably right. Is Enoch? Yeah, that's what. Because Enos kind of sounds like Enoch. And if you like to listen to somebody who reads very well and you're at all interested, you want to check out Stephanie Calico Kate. If you're still here, help me. Stephanie, I think her channel is design. Oh gosh. She's reading the book of Enoch on her channel. Oh my gosh. She does such a nice job. And she's got that cute little southern drawl. If you ever want to listen to something soothing. I know, right, Dawn? I got them right. This is from the Bible. Not sure where Ibra came from. Wow. Here we go. Kimberly's got it. SMB Designs. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to listen to her read. Yeah, Stephanie, right. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, well, I don't know what she's going to do after she does Enoch. I mean, yeah, Enoch, but she's doing a great job. Sometimes you don't feel like paying attention, or maybe you're arting or doing something, or say you're crocheting or knitting, you have to pay attention to um, the pattern or whatever, and you just want something nice to listen to. Maybe you're not into music, maybe you don't feel like music at that time or whatever. You don't want the TV blaring. Oh my gosh, put Stephanie on. And she may have other stuff. I didn't check out her channel to see if she has other stuff where she's read. Maybe Dawn knows. I don't know, but love listening to her read. Anywho, I think I might have to go get a yogurt. I had a little bit of toast this morning, but like I said, I wasn't prepared. I may have to go get a little bit of yogurt. I'm feeling a little loopy. The name Ibra means wisdom and genius. A very, very old name. Cool. Well, when we named our daughter Colleen, there weren't many. And then, geez, all of a sudden. And when I grew up, I didn't know any other Lorries, but now they're all over the place. Same with Brian. Actually, there was a football player in high school. His name was Brian. He was pretty sweet, and I just kind of liked the name. Yeah, I might go grab a yogurt. Dawn's not sure. She was just started in when she was reading Enoch. Yeah, me too. All right, these are those big stickers for one of those sticker books where it's the whole page, and I thought it might be fun if I just put those down. And I didn't glue them. I just tried to get them because they're not it's not solid. Like this is a circle, an oval. So I didn't glue this down yet. But I'm going to go get my little tub of yogurt. So I'll be right back. Oh, look, I might be able to add some of this in. Doesn't that look yummy? We have a store near us called Aldi's. Uh-oh, cat's got a tornado warning. Oh my. Oh my. Um, and they have, many of you probably have an Aldi near you. I don't know. They hit the US, and I'm sure they're all over the place. But you can get those little like Kirby type cucumbers, and they come in a little zipped bag. Oh my gosh, they're so crispy and so tender at the same time. And I had my mom in there the other day. My sisters were coming for lunch, and so we were picking up a few things. And oh my gosh, I wanted those cucumbers so bad. They didn't have any. They were wiped clean. I was so sad. All right, I'll be right back. So I was thinking, really, what is the difference between a glue book or a book of collage? And I've come to the conclusion, in my mind, a book of a glue book is a book where you just glue stuff down, and collage is gluing down stuff with intention. There's Angela. Hi, Angela. Brenda said my ex wanted to name our twins Jeremiah Taylor and Jedediah Tyler. We compromised. I named one Travis Scott and he named the other Shandy Lee. Really, Brenda? Shandy Lee is different. I think the first two names he wanted, that would have been a source of tongue tying for years. They've thanked me for nixing the rhyming names through the years. Shandy said, I should have fought harder for his first name when he was a kid, but now it doesn't bother him. Yeah, that's different. He probably got Sandy a lot, right? People didn't realize there's an H in there. It's just surprising to me that he picked something so different from what his original suggestion was. Twins, I can't imagine. Oh my gosh, I would love to have twins. I would love to have twins. My youngest niece and her husband would love to start a family. And they've had some hiccups. They've had some hiccups. So I'm thinking, boy, wouldn't it be nice if they ended up with twins? I think Harley's cute. Now, I wish I had picked out Henry for my son's middle name, Brian Henry. How cute would have that been? And my at the time, I'm in a different place now, so everything is, but at the time, when we first married, we lived in my husband's house he grew up in. His parents were snowbirds. They would go down to Florida and then come back for several months in the summer, spring into summer. And that was a source of a lot of anxiousness for me. And his father's middle name was Henry, so I probably wouldn't have gone for it back then, even if somebody had suggested it. But I do like it now. Kathy said, my son was named after my husband's dad. Fortunately, his name was Andrew Martin. That's a really nice name. And I had no say as his dad had just passed away. Yeah. Angela said, my hubby would not make our son the second, all because his name is Rudolph. Rudolph. Well, my husband didn't want and I would not have been a fan of it anyway. My husband's name is Ron. but he didn't want a name named after him because he grew up in a household where his brother was named after his father. He said you never knew who anybody was talking to or talking about. He said it was annoying. You know, you didn't know who was wanted on the phone, and he just he said, I'm open to anything else, but he said, and if you don't mind a nickname thing, Rudy's kind of a cute nickname. See, I'm okay with nicknames now. Just wasn't back in the day. I told my daughter when you get to be, 18 years old and you want your friends to call you Collie or whatever, it's just, that's on you. I said I just wanted to. And then when they were picking out a name for my granddaughter, I thought they would name Nick. They were thinking they would call her Charlie because they named her Charlotte. And my daughter kind of always liked Charlie, Charleigh, but nobody calls her that. There for a while, my son-in-law called her Chuck, which I thought was cute. When he and her would be doing stuff together, he'd call her Chuck. Kathleen says, I named my son after his father, Paul, and my brother Joseph. Paul Joseph. That's very nice. So not to have the same confusion with the name PJ. Well, that worked. And he has been known as PJ his whole life. See, you figured it out. But I had never, thought about the same name confusion. It does crack me up, though, and I hope no one is listening or is here today. I don't mean to offend anybody. It just cracks me up. Um, it just, I don't know. Well, it's just me. Maybe I shouldn't say this. But like families that have a male and female child, names one after the father and one after the mother, and then you got the double trouble. It's so dark out, but I'll be brave. Can't get any closer. Well, at least you're both in, right, Kath? Oh my gosh. Brenda said my first father-in-law was supposed to be James Humphrey. He was born at home due to a blizzard, and when they registered his birth, it was recorded as James Humphrey. Oh my. Oh my word. Does anybody remember that? It's from an old movie. And an older gentleman says, oh my word. Now, this is a stretch. I'll bet you if Chicken Pot Pie were here, she'd get it. Let's see if anybody gets it. I am a bizarre chick. Well, be careful, Kathy. You might have to go down there for a little bit. What about your son's house? Can you get to your son's house and get in the basement? Yeah, right. Because if one comes through, it'll be through fast, right? I'm gonna trim out this pair of scissors. believe it's Thursday already. Oh, I like Randolph. Angela said her husband's name is Rudolph and his brother's name is Randolph, and they are not twins. Okay, Devin's back. Welcome back. Tornado has never hit our farm. It's hit around us. Oh, Andy is with you. Oh, good. Okay, I feel better. I feel better. I just can't even imagine. Even the hurricanes and stuff, we don't really deal too much with that here. You know, we get some storming and stuff, but not like, you know, Florida and stuff like that. Yeah, Kathy is having a tornado warning, Dev. All right, I'm going to cut out the little inside parts of the scissor here. Whoop. Whoop, whoop. So I'm going to get out my cute little board that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use my little X-Acto. Kind of trying to twirl the paper, not so much the blade. And this is I don't know if this was an ad or what, but it's a little thicker paper. It's not really like a magazine paper. So our new neighbors next door have been planting like crazy, all kinds of bushes and shrubs and trees and flowers. Oh my. And then we had that little spell with all the rain, and they had some of their plants were starting to die because it was too much water. And they thought it was the rain, but here they've discovered that right where she planted a lot of stuff, their irrigation system that they have in the yard, she punctured one of the lines. And it's not always got water in it, but when it went on, it kind of flooded. Okay, I forget who said this. Oh, maybe it was Kathleen. I have a niece, Charlene Danielle. Wait a minute, let me go back. Oh, it's Brenda. I have a niece that is Charlene Danielle. We call her Charlie. My sister-in-law ran away from home and landed in Georgia. Came home expecting. She said she went to Georgia as a devil. So picked the name. We told her never to tell Charlie that story. Yeah, Charlie is 28 and a good kid. Her mom did tell her the story when she was 16, and her paternal grandmother tracked her down. Well, she told her when she was old enough to have some understanding. So I think that was a wise decision. Oh, Charlie Daniels. Okay, yeah, see that? Whoop. Yeah, right, Kathy. Kathy, in her area, Calico Cates, they've been needing some rain. It's been really dry for them. So she's getting the rain, but you don't think of that prayer being answered in the way of tornado. Okay, so now I need a place for the scissors. Let's see what else I might have that I can pop down. I'm not sure I'm going to use some of this stuff. I think that chair's cute. This might be cute. This I got this picture out of I think it was a painting book from the song I Gotcha. The Devil Went Down to Georgia by Charlie Daniels. Ah, thanks. I'm a little dense when it comes to that stuff. Thanks, Brenda. It's a, you know how you get those books and you get the pattern in it and you can trace it onto your substrate. Oh, Shaz, yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it. It's fab. It's fab. All right, let's go back to the front, towards the front. Oh, isn't that? Oh, the coloring kind of goes with that. I do like those scissors. Maybe I'll cut these little peeps out. See, Devin was thinking Jack Daniels. I don't know why it didn't occur to me. We had neighbors. They've both passed on now. 2 doors down, two or 3 doors down to my, if I'm looking out at the street to my right, doesn't really matter, does it? Jack and Jeanette, they were a delightful older couple, and his name was Jack Daniels. I should have picked up on that. And Mom and I have been watching the last couple days. She'll always like game shows. I like them too. So we'd put on the Game Show Network. I'll tell you what. You want some interesting names? Tune into Family Feud. Ooh, I keep hitting that camera. Oh my goodness. There's some really interesting names of some of the folks that come on that show. What's your favorite game show? Does anybody watch game shows? Oh, did anybody guess the movie where the fella says, oh, I forget. Now I forget. I just said it. Oh, it'll come back to me. Gosh, and my mother, gets upset that she's loopy. I'm as loopy as my mother. I've got a lot of stuff running through my head. If I had to pick a favorite, I have two. I have two really favorite game shows. The old Match Game is such a hoot. Who was your favorite on that, Brenda? Not sure which movie it was. I don't remember what I said, Gail. I know I can tell you the movie though. I remember the movie. I don't know the name of the movie. I'm lying to you. It was a Shirley Temple. Oh my word. Shirley Temple, when she was dancing and the older gentleman was dancing with her and he's scratching his head. She says something and he says, my word. You like the one that Jane Lynch hosts? Can't think of the name. There's Barbara. Were your ears itching? I was talking about you. I have two game shows that I would just absolutely love to play. Gene Rayburn was always kind of creepy. I thought Betty White was just an absolute hoot on that show. But I like Charles Nelson Riley. He just cracked me up. Weakest Link. Really? I didn't think that was called that. Well, there was a British gal that did that Weakest Link thing for a while. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. I like Password. Of course, mostly with Alan Ludden. Not crazy about. I don't know if there's a newer version. And The Pyramid. Remember The Pyramid? And now it's, what is it, Michael, I'm forgetting his last name, Michael Zarkan or something like that. The big tall guy. Of course, I liked it when Dick Clark was on it. Yeah, Hollywood Squares was always fun, for sure. Oh my gosh, I love that pyramid game. I scream at the TV terrible when it's on. And they just ignore me. They just absolutely ignore me. How rude. Oh, really, Brenda? Oh, well, that's not a good thing, is it? There's Janice Kleins. Hello, Janice. Devin, it's a whiskey, but not a typical one. It's much darker. I like Southern Comfort when I was younger. Confessions. Of course, I know it's easier to play those games at home because you're not nervous in the comforts of your own home and your clues and your answers, it's a lot easier. But I just love it. Love it. And my mom's a big Jeopardy fan. Of course, years ago, her and my dad, they always, oh yeah, the Newlywed Game. I forgot about that one. Or what was that dating one? Where the three guys or three gals would be in the chairs, and then they'd have the other person there. Dating Game. Was it called Dating Game? Oh my gosh. And there's games on now that my mom and I had never heard of. One was called Tug of Words. And there's one called Switch. 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 And I like that one. That one's pretty good. My sister, Jackie, just said that Pat Zajac is retiring. And that, oh yeah, that's what Devin's saying. Okay. My mom loves watching Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. And that, oh, is it next year? Next year? Oh, okay. I was thinking it was sooner than that. And then my sister was saying that Ryan Seacrest is taking over. Will take over for him. I wonder if Anna Banana's going to retire. Although that's a sweet gig, right? And then there was that game, The Chase. And that guy, the Beast, he's huge. I think he's like 6'6". I don't know his name, his real name. But he's skinny now. He was a big old boy. Now he's skinny. He looks really nice and healthy. I don't think they've decided for sure who's, oh, okay, Gail. course, I always enjoy Price is Right too, but I'll tell you what, that pyramid game was so good for me. Well, I don't know, that works so good now that I took most of that coloring away. I'm going to find another page for her. Okay. What does Shaz say? Sorry if she missed. She's only running on 50%. I used to watch Dev Says Price is Right. Yeah. I was saying I enjoy The Price is Right. What was the dating game that Ted Bundy was on? I was trying to remember a dating. I just thought it was called Dating Game, but there could have been more than one dating type show. My favorites are The Chase, Jeopardy, and Family Feud. Sometimes, oh, America Says. That's a new one that I just discovered. I didn't know that one. Oh, The Chase was cool. He had 3 contestants, and this guy, his nickname is the Beast, and they would ask questions and I have to ring in, and they went so far up this scale, I guess, and depended on how much money that I think got put into a bank or something. Anyway, it ended up where you were, I think they would dwindle it down to 2 people then, and you were against the Beast. This guy is a genius. You know, and we all know a lot of stuff. We all know more than we think we know. And for me, this really doesn't even have to do with age, because I was never quick. I'm just not quick on the draw. These people, you ask them a question like Jeopardy, and it's right there, right in the front of their brain. So then they had this board on the Chase that was, you would see, it was almost like, I think it was like a circle kind of thing, and then it had all these lights, and when they answered questions, they'd have so many spots, and then the Beast would answer, and they had to try to get to the end of it before the Beast. I think that's how. So now they have a new one, and it's kind of similar, but not really. And they've got 3. They call it masterminds. And the Beast is on there sometimes, not all the time. And they ask questions, and then you 1-to-1 against one of the masterminds. It's just amazing to me how quickly these folks can come up with an answer, you know? Who wants to be a millionaire? Me. Oh, I remember. I don't know if this was the original guy that won, but I remember watching when this, and I don't know his name, but he was doing pretty well, and he got up to where the next question was for the $1 million. And I think he was down to his last help. He might have had 2 left. I'm not sure. But anyway, he said to Regis, it was Regis Philbin that was on. And Regis, he says to Regis, I'd like to use my lifeline. I'd like to call a friend. And Regis says, sure. Who would you like to call? He said, I'd like to call my father. So they ring his father. And his father answers the phone. He says, hi, Dad, this is, so-and-so. I just wanted to let you know I just won $1 million because he knew the answer. So I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, Kathy, be careful. Let me know how you are later. I'll check in, okay? Thanks for being here. The beast's real name, yes, Mark. Mark Lebet. Not sure if that's the right spelling. Yeah, he's a big, tall guy. My favorite, I just missed something. Chat's going pretty quick today. Brenda said, I'll watch shows and answer the questions. I don't remember learning the Yes, right. Exactly. You must be pretty good then. It takes me a while for it to pop into my brain. Of course, they've answered it by then. My all-time favorite was After Midnight. Sort of a fake game show with comedians as contestants. Never heard of that one. That sounds interesting. You remember that episode, Kathleen? It was cool, right? Okay, Devin, have a great day. Um, there was something else I was just gonna say. Oh, it has left me. Maybe it'll pop back in. Let's see. Acclaimed famous trivia night at a local Mexican restaurant. So I go with my daughter and her friends. Oh, that sounds fun. They told me they need an old person on the team. Yes. There's one coming on, I don't know, it might be new, I don't know if it is, with Kelly Ripa, and it's something about the generations or generation gap or something like that, so that might be a little interesting. But it's just so funny what some young people, oh, well, and me too, I don't keep up on stuff that, young people are into, and no, I really don't. I have no desire to, actually. I'm thinking about cutting out these, I'm liking all these orange and yellow flowers. There was just something I was thinking of I wanted to say to you guys, and now I forget it. I'm quite distracted. Cash cab, yeah. Ding, 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 ding. How fun would that be? Oh my gosh. Oh, I know. Comedy. When she said comedy, Janice's Comedy Central. It may have been at midnight. That's when it came on. Okay. Who has ever watched, my daughter and my son-in-law got me. I haven't watched it in a while, but there for a while I was really hooked. It's called, it'll come to me. I can see the two guys. It's all comedians on a panel. Taskmaster. Has anybody ever watched Taskmaster? Maybe if I put some of this stuff, I don't know. Does this make it better or worse? It's an absolute hoot. They give all these tasks, and it's a panel of comedians. Most of them are from, I think, the UK, really. They all have those delicious accents, and they're so funny. And they get them to do these crazy things. It's really quite funny, especially if you're into humor. My mother wouldn't like it. The spoofs of Jeopardy on Saturday Night Live were freaking hilarious. I love those British shows. Oh my gosh, I love Doc Martin. I'm so depressed I don't think that's coming on anymore. I know Aunt Beck said she watched Doc Martin. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Of course, it's not a game show, it's just a show. I could not get my husband to watch it. You know, it's just like Friends or any of those, you know, you get to know the characters, Big Bang Theory, anything like that, you know, once you get to know the characters and then you start watching the episodes and it's just like they're so funny. But Taskmaster, they've got this guy, what's his name? Davies, maybe? And he's a stand-up comedian guy. He's real tall. I think he might be like 6'6". I'm into the tall fellas. And then, oh, he did? Oh, I just absolutely. You too, Barbara? Oh my gosh, I love Doc Martin. I said to, I guess it was my mom and my sisters the other day, stop talking, stop talking. He just keeps saying, stop talking to his patients. Oh my gosh. Um, and then they've got this other fella. This is Taskmaster's this other fella. What's his name? They're always making fun of him. I forget what they call them. But they're all comedians. And you know, it's their take on how to do certain things. And some of it's bizarre stuff. But see, my husband's not into comedy or humor or any of that jazz, so he would never watch any of that. You like Doc Martin too, Kathleen? Oh man, you all have good taste. Gil said, did y'all realize how close Janet Nash was on her vacation to St. Ives to where they filmed Doc Martin? No, I didn't. But one of the reasons when my son and I went on our little trip, we picked, he didn't pick, I picked to go to North Yorkshire because that's where they filmed All Creatures Great and Small. That's another one. Now, my husband does like that one. We can't get enough of that. Yep, in Cornwall. Okay, Brenda. Decisions. Oh my gosh. What character could we give Janet? She could be what could she be? She could be a shop owner. She could be the local artisan. And a good friend of Mrs. Tishel. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love Doc Martin. I could watch it 24/7. And then I like that Midsummer Mysteries too. Yes, Calico Kate is they're having a tornado warning. And she was losing her internet power. It was very dark. They were getting a lot of rain. Her hubby is not home, but her son is there. And her granddaughter, maybe her grandson's there too. They do have a basement they can get into if they need to. Brenda says she loves British TV. I have loved All Creatures Great and Small since I read See, I got those books for my husband loves to read, and I got them for him for Christmas, and for some reason he's just doesn't seem like he wants to read them. I love James Herriot. We cannot wait till that comes on. I don't know if I feel like fiddling with all that little cutting around those petals. Yeah, and I went back, Kathleen, and my son found that for me, and I just I couldn't get into the old one. I'm just so in love with those characters on the new one. So we're always chomping at the bit for the new season to come on. The other one I like is I'm going to get the name wrong. Hey, Susan Gerald, how are you today? Nice to see you. Um, ah, Miss Scarlet. Miss Scarlet and the Duke. Is that what it's called? First of all, the Duke to me looks like really reminds me of Hugh Jackman. I think they could be like, cousins or something. And I think he's from Scotland. So I'm chomping for that one to come back on too. It's set way back in, I don't know, Last Tango in Halifax. Oh, I never heard of that. Did I miss Cindy? I don't know if I said hello to Cindy. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm missing something, but oh gosh, I don't want to miss anybody. Gosh, well, I'm so bad with the errors, the time frame. But it's when the ladies wore the bustle. They had the bustles in the back, and they wear hats. And her dad was a private detective. He passed away, and she took over his business, and she's quite good. And the Duke is a detective, and she's always getting in his way. And of course, they grew up together. They've known each other since they were kids. And she's always given him a run for his money. And she just frustrates him beyond belief. And but he really, I think he's really like in love with her. So we'll see. Oh, Cheshire. No, she's Dar, if I have it right. You could be right, but I think not Lost Tango in Paris. Okay. I didn't get celebrity crushes. I had a crush on James Herriot. Yes. Get out, Brenda. That's cool. Get out. That's so cool. Cat or Dar. Okay, great. Thanks for clearing that up. Well, there's a lot of names to remember, and sometimes there's certain names in chat that we associate differently, and it's just hard to remember them. That's why smart people like Lisa My Eclectic Life and Tanya write them down. You know what, Lori, make your life easier. Let's just snip that off. I'm getting hungry for some lunch. It's about 11:45 here. I have trouble with the Jacquelines. Some of those, and there are a couple Cindy's I have trouble with. Like there's a rain wagon, or I don't know. I did. It's almost gone. I have just a little bit here, but left. But yogurt just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Truth be told, just takes the edge off. I made some tuna, so I've been enjoying some tuna sandwiches. And then my husband makes this, well, he doesn't really like chicken breast. He likes chicken, but he likes the dark meat because he says it has more flavor and it's juicy. There's Judy. Hi, Judy. And I grew up on dried chicken breast. I don't know. I just, you know what? It's okay with me. I don't mind it. But he has learned how to make a chicken breast where it's juicy and tender and flavorful. So he'll get like a half a dozen and he cooks them all at the same time and then we'll have it for dinner. And then he bought himself like a deli slicer type of machine and he slices it real thin and then we have it for sandwiches and it's really, really is quite tasty. Brenda said she's given up keeping up with names in these groups. Yeah, it's hard. Just like it's hard to keep a list of who streams when. We were talking about that the other day, and we are saying maybe Becca had started a list, but she was having trouble with Google Docs or something. I don't know. It's hard because nothing's written in stone, and things happen in your regular life, and gosh, I hate to miss, but sometimes you just can't pop on or whatever. Oh, but there's so many. And then after I start to mention them and I shut down my live or whatever, it's like, oh, and then I remember this one, then I remember that one. I'm like, oh, then you feel terrible that you missed somebody. It's like terrible, you know? So I haven't done anything really than color the last couple of days with mom here. So I'm looking forward to having a few days of getting back into my art room here. My husband was going to stop and visit a few people before he comes back home. So I might have a few hours to myself. Shaz, if you can do it, that would be great. And see, and then for me, it's like, where do you put it where people can get it? Like I thought I could put it on my community tab, but the thing is there, it gets buried, you know? And I don't have a Facebook page. I mean, I do have Facebook, but I don't have one for like my YouTube channel and for YouTubers and such, you know? So it's just another thing that right now, really, if I'm quite honest, I can't handle another task like that. Let's get this sunflower. And I don't know anything about Google Docs. Like I was saying to my sisters, I have an idea of something we could do for our mom. And if there was some place online that we could put an interactive calendar, to encourage some of the grands or even, her nieces and nephews, like my cousins, that wanted to come and visit her. I like the idea of spreading visits out for her, so everybody doesn't show up like on the same Friday or whatever, right? So if somebody was going to plan to visit, they could look at this calendar. I have no idea how to do that. And I don't know if Google Docs has something where I should ask my son-in-law. I know he would know. Let's see. Brenda A says, I cook extra chicken when we have it and then chop it up and make chicken salad. Yep, we do that too. Mayo, dry cran. Oh, yum. Pecan. Oh, yum. Celery and sometimes. Oh, yes. That sounds absolutely yummy. Google has a calendar. Is it interactive? Do you know, Kathleen? Chef says, Lori, you can make a community public calendar and Google Calendar. Okay, we'll have to check that out. Yeah, a list of schedules. But we had one gal in the other, what was it, Sunday? Gosh, and now I'm not remembering her name. It's terrible. But she's getting ready to retire, so she was looking for suggestions and other streams that she'd like, you know, to be able to check out or watch when she actually retires. So she, you know, she thought a list would be helpful. Everybody's different, right? My brother-in-law retires on Friday, and he and my sister have a second home up in the Adirondacks. I know I don't say that right. Adirondacks, maybe it's like that. Anyway, they go up for vacations. They'll go up for a week or so, but this is the first time they're able to go up for a month. Brenda said, I was born in Oakland City, a wide spot in the road. Susan, I've got a weird accent influenced by Scott English band, mostly Aussie. Cool. There used to be a routine in our people. It's all askew now. Yeah. Well, so many people, you know, a lot of people wanted to do it and get online. And gosh, there's room for everybody, right? And different things, different ideas. And you have choices, so many choices. So you can view in, and there's always the replay too, which is so nice. I still have to, I haven't watched Calico Kate's last live. I was picking up my mom, and it's baseball season. I like to watch my baseball team. So I'm not caught up. I have several things. And I know Aunt Beck has a little video where she showed, and I didn't know how to do this, where you can put stuff in a list. Hi, Sharon. Oh, and then I was watching Kellyanne and those cute, Sharon, you reminded me of this popping in because you're the expert on felting. Those little felted people she was making. She got the kits from Temu, but I don't really need any more wool. I've got plenty of that. And I think I can manage by looking at the picture, but I like those little black eyes. I'm not a googly eye person, and they were just like little black button eyes. So I ordered them from Amazon. They were very reasonable, and I am getting a ton of them. But I'm going to try my hand. So if you haven't seen Kellyanne's, it's one of her most recent lives. She was showing us these adorable, adorable, adorable. And they have the kits on Amazon. Of course, you know, you're going to pay more than you do on Temu. I don't even know how to describe them. The company name, it starts with B. How helpful is that? I should go look. Wait a minute, I have my phone here. Let me see if I can. I might have them in my, oh, you know what? I might have them in my saved. Let's see if I can figure it out on my phone. I do a lot of this stuff on my computer, not on my phone, because I'm challenged. I dare say I am challenged. Let's see, maybe it's still in my cart. No. Oh no, of course it's not in my, there's one. Okay, so the brand name is Baggerla, I guess you'd say it. Let me see if I can get it to focus for you. Bagerla. And there, look, this is one that Kelly Ann did. She's working on it. She's not quite finished. Now, she made her ears longer, like bunny ears. But look at that precious little face. Right? So, see, I have all the stuff. I wonder if there's any other ones that I put in. I mean, there's tons of them. That company has tons of them. And then you can buy some that look at this. Look at that little bird. But see, like with the kit, when you get the kit, you get that little plastic beak. Okay, I think I can live without the beak, but those eyes, no. So I ordered just the eyes. And when I used to do ceramics, we would buy eyes for the animal, like for the animals to make the ceramic animals to look real. And of course, we would glue them in. But they also had eyes that had like it looks like a screw on the back of the eyeball. But Kellyanne had said her eyeballs that she used were like on a little pin, like a little stick. So that's the kind I ordered. I'm glad she said that because I think it would be hard because these are small. It would be hard to get the eyeball with that screw peg on the back into a little tiny, you know. Hey, Jen, you did that one, you think? They're so adorable. I think my grands would love them. And then it looks like you get a little with the kit, you get some kind of a little where you can put it on a little like key ring or something like that. And I think they would get real cruddy and beat up on a key ring, but I might like to have a few hanging around the room. So I'm going to try. I'm going to see. So I'm waiting for my eyeballs to arrive. All right, let me glue some of this down. Some of these flowers. I've got more to cut out, of course. But let's get on a different page. Now I might go back to that page that had some of that orangey kind of a, you know, when I was running off my, not running off my mouth, running off my paint. Well, that's an idea. That one oh, I think it was this one. Bum, 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 bum. I'm just going to start gluing these down. My book is kind of getting stuck on my glass mat. Let's just lay this out and see. See, now this just annoys me. I know I shouldn't be such a fuss budget, but those little tiny bits of white just really stick out to me. So what's everybody got planned for this afternoon? I don't even know what day of the week it is. Thursday. So I know Kathy Arbor's coming on next. If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear a flower in your hair. I don't know that one, Barbara, do I? Now I wish I did. These little bits are hard. Should have put them on and done the little. Britta said she's watercoloring a mermaid today. Ooh, wanting for 3 pieces of mail so I can open a bank account and change driver's license. Oh, okay. So she's got a plan. Cool. I'm not sure on Kathy Arbor. She hasn't? I usually. Bye, Gail. There's Judy. Hi, Judy. I It's like I was saying with Ann Lar, I've got a standing commitment on Sunday to play pinochle with our friends in Colorado. And oh my gosh, us girls, we just are not doing that good. And then when I'm done streaming on Thursday, that's Sunday. The Pinocle's on Sunday. And then when I'm done streaming on Thursday, I call my neighbor every day. So I call her, catch up on, what's going on. And I need to eat some lunch. And then I usually need a nap. And by then, Kathy Arbor is done. So I don't really always follow up. I hope she's okay. Is she just like working in her garden? I'm so behind on my videos. So I said to Calico Kate, the one that I always try to make sure I catch up on are hers. And I try to catch a little bit of Murray's. The other day, Janet Nash, I just couldn't get in there because I have lots going on right now, kids. I just do. You're not really going to see these much, are you? If I put these on the same color background, maybe I should put them on the opposite page. Maybe that would be better. I'm saying this is a freestyle glue. Okay, thank you, Barbara. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Thank you. Shaz says it's Friday where she is. She's down under. Let's see. She posted a garden on IG, but I haven't seen her stream. Yeah, she was, Calico Kate was saying they needed rain, and now they've got a hurricane warning, so she had to go. She was losing her connection. I'm trying to use this little squeeze out glue, thinking it might be easier, but it's giving me trouble here. Let's see. Where's my little glue page? Let's use the glue stick. So they just had a hurricane warning, so she was losing her internet, so she had to scoot. So this goes this way. And then these beautiful geranium goes this way. So our butterfly bush is just about ready to bloom. It's got a few blooms out, and it's a dark purple. We had two, a purple one and a pink one. The pink one didn't make it. And they're dwarf. The thing, I've always loved the butterfly bushes, but the thing about those for my husband is that they're very long and lanky. And he doesn't like that. So these are dwarfs. So they're real cute. They're real low to the ground. And my hydrangea, after several years of being in the non-blooming mode, has bloomed. It's starting to bloom. Let's see, Chaz says, Lori, you could do a white acrylic watered down washover. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could. It's an idea. And no real plans. Brenda, she maybe stitch on a rag doll. She hasn't tried stitching it since her hand surgery. Okay. You had hand surgery too, huh? I think I missed that somehow. Doc thinks crafting and overusing hands is messed. Oh, I'm sure. Absolutely, Brenda. There you go. Me too. I have such pain down in here and around my thumb, and I asked the doctor years ago. He's since retired. What could be the cause of that? He's like, well, what are you doing? At the time, I was, knitting like a crazy person. He said, well, you got to stop that. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't think so. I don't think so, Doc. I could actually you know, really put all these orangey ones over here and then put the yellowy ones over on this side. Might be more better. In my garden, Judy, my hydrangeas are right now, they look a little white and pink. And I'm sure the white will turn more pink. I saw a beautiful blue one the other day when I was bringing my mom back to my house. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty. They're my absolute favorites. All right, kids, I'm going to cut out of here. It's time for me to visit the loo. And I need to get a little something more than the yogurt. My hands are going to be shaky. My hands are going to be shaky. Oh, you did, Dar? Yeah, well, see, I was a secretary too. So I didn't even think about that. See, it all works into that problem, right? I don't have any, I have some tingling, but I don't have any the numbness. Like my neighbor had, I guess it's been 2 years ago now. Yeah, I came on at 10, Jen. Sorry, sweetie. And I need to get, I just, with mom here, you don't get a lot done when mom is here. I'm going to put this here. And gosh, I feel like I've missed a few days. Mama doesn't like to be left alone. So thanks for coming and joining me. I appreciate y'all so very much. I hope you have a really wonderful day. And those of you having conditions with your weather, be careful. We've got the smoke that some of you are dealing with right now. So just, take care and make sure you're taking care. And oh, Jen was fixing her breakfast. Sorry, Jen. Oh, look, I lost the insides of my glue stick. That one's done. Done, 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 done. Well, hopefully I'll catch you on the next time, Jen. You can spend more time with us. But I gotta skedaddle. All right, that's it for me. And there's our Teresa. Teresa, I still am having a crazy life. Teresa and I are wanting to get together and draw. I haven't been doing too good at that. So thank you, Teresa. Teresa's such a sweetie. All right, ladies, let me scoot. See you next time. And don't forget, take time to be creative and enjoy the journey. And I shall see you somewhere on the tube. Bye-bye for now.